Hello and welcome to the Mother Load. This will be a quick pace vinyasa practice. Feel free to take child's pose or modify the pace to suit your individual needs. If you have access to a wall, then when the option to go upside down presents itself, perhaps you go for it. I'm Erin Evans. Let's get rolling. Starting in child's pose, taking your knees wide, big toes together, heels apart. Extending your arms out in front, resting your forehead to the floor, and start to activate your sounding breath. Let it fill the circumference of your ribs. Letting the breath expand the physical body 1 inch beyond its size. Let your exhales cling you to the earth. Begin to squeeze the inner knees together, waking up the pelvic floor. With the arms out in front, symbolic of a reverence, a bowing to a devotional quality, maybe take a moment to offer your practice up. Someone, something that is close to your heart. And on your next inhale, rise to all fours, and as you exhale, downward dog. Taking a couple moments to pedal out the dog, noticing tightness from right to left. And then finding a static shape, a static down dog. On your next inhale, lifting the right leg up, point the toes and throw your chest toward your back leg. Take the eyes forward, step the right foot between the hands, drop the back knee, take a runner stretch. Flex your toes to your nose like the chest could shine forward. Bending into that front knee for Skandasana, flip your left toes up. Your fingertips could rest on the floor. You might take a bind. Feeling the compression in the right hip. Pivot yourself to face forward, send the right leg high, point the toes. Release your foot. Lifting the left leg up, point the toes, send your chest to your back thigh. Eyes forward, step your left foot through, drop the knee, straighten the front leg, flex the toes. Take the pinky toe away from the fourth toe. Skandasana, pivot, drop the seat, right heel anchors. More than anything, I want you to notice what it's like to have a flexed ankle and a deep, deep hip socket with the knee plunging forward. Pivot yourself to face forward and step to the top. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, look up. Release your arms. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop the feet back to lower. Push the toes back, lift your chest. Downward dog, take it back. The feet are hip distance apart and the fingertips are fanned wide, pointers a little bit up toward the corners of your mat. Pulling the navel center back, set your eyes maybe between the feet, the knees, the belly button. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen, bow, Stand tall, look up. Release your arms. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop the feet back, low push-up. Over the toes, stretch up. Slide back, downward dog. The inhalation is an extension through all 4 sides of the body. The exhale is a contraction, a shortening. Completing your exhale, feet to the top, lengthen, fold, stand tall, reach high, release your arms. Last one, up. Fold it in. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale, adho mukha, set your shape. You might like to drop down onto the elbows, taking a dolphin pose. Sending the thighs wide and apart like you could melt your chin toward your mat. In the yoga practice, there are certain poses that give us a strong return on investment, meaning they're really, really useful for dexterity, strength. Returning to downward facing dog, strike back. Completing the exhale, feet to the top, lengthen, fold. Bending into the knees, Utkatasana, hold this. We'll take a Surya Namaskara B, starting first with warrior ones on right and left, and then the option of a handstand hop to crescent, a little bit lower in the pelvis. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back to lower. Take it up. Take it back. Right foot steps, left heel drops, lift up. Hands down, step back, lower. Urdhva mukha. Adho mukha, left foot steps, right heel drops, reach up. Down, plant the palms back to lower. Rise up. Take it back, right leg lifts. Step it or jump, switch it forward. Crescent float. Hands down, step back, lower. Take it up, slide it back, left leg lifts. Step it or jump, switch it forward, crescent up. Hands down, step back, look forward to lower, pubic bone to wrists. Slide back, downward dog. Find the spot for the eyes. Observing how the heat has changed things, maybe not. To get the most out of the practice, it's a lot to do with the quality of our work, not the quantity. Completing your exhale, feet to the top, lengthen, fold. Sit low, Utkatasana. Over and in, skull heavy. Lift your heart. Take it back, lower. Urdhva mukha. Adho mukha, right foot steps, warrior one in. Out, hands down to lower. Urdhva mukha. Adho mukha, left foot steps, warrior one in. Out, hands down, lower. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, right leg lifts. Step it or jump, switch it forward. Float up. Hands down, we flow. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Step it or jump, switch it forward. Crescent. Hands down, step back, vinyasa. Meeting in our beloved downward dog. If the breath got a little wild, slow it down. Lengthen inhale and exhale, let them match. Completing your exhale, feet to the top, lengthen, fold. Sit low, Utkatasana. Over and in. Inhale, lengthen. Step or float it back to lower. Take an Urdhva stretch up. Adho, go back. Right foot steps, low hips, high heart. Hands down, soft face, lower. Take it up. Take it back. Left foot steps, A, lunge to lift. Hands plant back to lower. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, right leg lifts. Step it or jump, switch it forward. Crescent to hold. Elevating the arms to the sky. Take a subtle bend in the back knee, lengthen the low back, and then kick out through the heel. Bring your hands to the earth, send the right leg high. Tent the left fingertips with the option of reaching back with the left hand to catch your ankle. Pointing the toes in the sky and making sure the eyes are committed to one spot. Eyes forward, right foot steps, half moon, pick it up. Left hand to the hip, maybe up, maybe there's a bind. In your mind's eye, place triangle facing the back. And then gazing down to step your foot back for triangle facing the back. You might bring your hand to the floor. You might tent the fingers or catch the toe. Inner heels squeezing together, top lung rolls back. Eyes down, scorpion, Ardha Chandrasana, tent right, tent left. Fold the leg in the sky. You might reach back with your left hand to catch the foot and tighten the bow. Equalize your hips by sending them back, flattening the low back. Releasing the shape to step it open for triangle facing the front. Glide the hip, your variation. Trikonasana is sweet in that we're learning how to lean back without losing the foundation of our feet. Pull the scapula, the shoulder blades together. Take the eyes down, scorpion, Ardha Chandrasana, pick it up. You might reach back with the right hand to catch the foot, tighten the bow. Releasing the shape, we'll step it open for twisted triangle facing the back. Square the hips, right arm extends, hand to a block, the floor, and left arm could rest at the small of the back or all the way up. Set your eyes, find your focal point. The pelvic floor is lifted, giving us length in the torso. Take your eyes down, bending into that front knee. Send your left leg high. Bend it, stack it. Option to reach back with the right hand. Variation similar to scorpion. Send the shoulders back, send the hips back. Releasing the bind, step your left foot through, come all the way up, twisted triangle, face forward. Sitting bones back, left hand to the pinky toe edge, stacking the shoulders, lifting the eyes. Take the eyes down, bending into the front knee. Send the right leg high. Bend it, stack it. Option to reach back and catch your foot. Three-legged dog, release the bind, lower the foot. Dropping down onto the knees, option for child's or forearm stand. If you have a wall, set it up. Dolphin pose is a great in-between. Coming all the way down, if you were upside down, take a moment in child's. Notice the beating of the heart, warmth in the body, quality over quantity. Downward facing dog, extend back, elevate the hips. Lift your left leg up. Step it or jump, switch it forward. Crescent lunge, up we come. Take a bend in the back knee, get long in the low back, and then fire up the back leg. Notice where the eyes have landed, forward or up, but get committed. Part of quality is setting the eyes, knowing where to put them, and avoiding the distraction of looking all around. We don't want to waste our time. Bringing your hands to the earth, take a three-legged dog. Tent the right fingertips, option to reach back and catch the shin. Little micro movements to keep the attention in. Point the toes. Hug your forearm to the ground. Without using the right hand, step the left foot forward, half moon. You could take your hand to your hip, reach it up, take a bind. Putting the image of warrior two facing the back in your head and gently enter warrior two. Flip your warrior. Side angle, elbow to knee or hand inside or outside the foot. Some of you might like to bind, some of you might like to fly, birds of paradise. Do your thing. We got 3. 2. 1. If you're flying, step down, step back, hands frame the front foot, drop the back knee. Full split or half split. Soften the shoulders. Find something in the body that you've never really paid attention to before, might feel totally irrelevant, like your Achilles tendon or your right glute. Taking a lunge back into that right leg for a 3-legged dog. Right leg goes high. Funky pincha or funky headstand. Left forearm drops. Right hand lines up with the elbow joint. Either lower the head to the floor, keep it lifted. Take the right knee to the back of the right arm. Lift the left leg up and maybe both legs. Breath steady. Notice how the inhale expands, exhale contracts. 3-legged dog, right leg high. Eyes forward, step the right foot through, drop the back knee, arms up. Take your hands to heart center and hook your left elbow over your right knee. You might work to a prayer, you might open the arms, you might bind. Lift the back knee off the earth, kick out through the heel, put a hole in the wall behind you. Take your eyes down, hands down, 1-legged crow or downward dog. So whatever feels like the right variation. You could add a vinyasa, not necessary. And then gently walk your hands back to your feet. Big inhale floats the chest. Exhale, dive in. Do that one more time. Inhale, float the chest. Exhale, drop it. Give the head a little shake. Tip the weight forward. Clear out the low abdomen. What is the very best use of our energy and our attention? What habits, postures, friendships are leading us nowhere? Inhale, lengthen. Walk it forward, downward dog. Next, inhale, lifts the right leg up. Steps it between the hands as we rise for warrior 2, facing forward. Flip your warrior. Side angle, elbow to knee or hand inside or outside the foot. Top arm extending, back foot anchoring. You could bind and fly or remain in side angle. If you're flying, step down, step back. Hands frame the left foot, drop the right knee half or full Hanuman. Go to your face. It's often where we store our emotion. We can't hide it, but we're working on a poker face. And it helps to make it feel like all the poses are of equal relevance. They're not harder or easier. They just require different things. Bending back into that front knee to take a three-legged dog. Funky headstand or funky pincha, right forearm drops, left hand lines up with the elbow joint. You could drop your head down, maybe catch your knee on the back of the elbow, maybe all the way up. Squeeze the elbows toward each other. Eyes on an immovable spot. If you're upside down, three-legged dog, left leg high. Gaze forward, step it through, drop your back knee, arms up. Hook your right elbow over your knee, turning this into a twist. You might bind. You might take the traditional Ashtanga variation. Bring your eyes down, hands down, either down dog, a one-legged crow, a vinyasa, whatever you please. Meeting in downward facing dog. Walking your hands all the way back to your feet. Bending the knees and slipping your hands under your feet, lengthen. Fold, Padahastasana. Head drops. Eyes on an imperfection. If there's grip, tension in the shoulders or the kidneys, get longer, softer. Inhale, lengthen. Take a little squat at the back of the mat. 3 handstand froggy jumps to get to the top. If you'd prefer, go down dog and step or jump to the top. Hands are about 1.5 feet in front of our feet. Come up, clap your feet, lower them. You could give yourself a round of applause if you feel so inclined. Hop. Last one, big pounce. Release your feet together at the top, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bending into the knees, Utkatasana. Hands to heart center, warrior 3 on the right leg. Tip the chest forward, flex the toes in the sky. Taking our leg out wide for big toe to the side, right hand catches the right hip as we catch the edge or the big toe or the knee of our left leg. Gaze over the right shoulder. Most important thing you've ever done in your whole life, leg through center. Catch the waist, point the toes, shoulders drawn back. This is one of those poses that's 10x. It's gonna make everything easier, and yet a lot of people would just skip it because it sucks. 2, 1, step it open for Prasarita. Catch the waist, look up. Exhale, fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Maybe there's an inversion you want to take. Maybe you love folding into yourself, using the outer edges of your glutes to pull through. And as you scan the body, is there any effort that's not actually working? They call it the 80-20, where 80% of our effort is actually leading nowhere. So if we worked less, tried harder, but were more focused on the places that mattered, it would all feel so good. If your feet are up, set them down. Inhale, lengthen. Catch the waist. Stand all the way up. Arms float for B. Catch the waist, chest up. Fold it in, crown down. Tipping the weight into the head, into the big toe joints. Each of our practices are very individual. What I need will be different than what you need. So that's the beauty of it. It's so individual. So what is it that you need for a healthy body to be free while bound to a body? Next inhale stands you all the way up. Arms float open. Step to the top, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to heart center, weight into the left foot, send it back, eyes set. Big toe joint controls it, and if there's density in that left hip joint, fill it with space, widen your thighs. Big toe to the side, left hand grips the hip, right hand takes the foot or the toe or the knee, spin the gaze. Plug your femur bone deep. Now imagine you got to watch yourself in this moment, the glory of you standing on one leg. It's actually crazy. Eyes forward, leg forward, catch the waist, point the toes. Shoulders drawn back, eyes gently looking out. Beautiful. Step it open. Prasarita C, arms float. Intertwine your fingers, bend your knees, roll your pelvis, bring the head to the floor. Maybe hands to the floor. So we're going to transition into a humble warrior from here. And the idea is to keep the head as low as possible. Humble warrior, the legs are in warrior 2. So if it's too scary, rise up to enter. Otherwise, flip your right toes. Take your humble warrior with your head close to the floor. Rise all the way up for Prasarita C. Humble warrior, opposite side. What I love about that transition is knowing your feet, not needing the hands. Beautiful. Prasarita C. And release your hands to the earth for middle splits. If you prefer frog, bend at the knee joint. I like my pinky toe edges facing the ceiling, big toe edges down, but some folks like their whole foot down. I shouldn't use the word like because there's not even an ounce of like. Rising all the way up to come into a wide-legged seat. Upavishta. The hands could rest behind the back. You might tip it forward to get pubic bone, chest, then chin to the floor. This is Prasarita, but we're doing it with gravity not working with our spine. Flexing the glutes, get an internal rotation. Why a lot of people get locked up here is that their inner thighs are not spinning the way they do when they're standing. Rising all the way up to Ashtavakrasana, or you'll fold over your right leg. So you might pivot to face the right leg and fold in. Some of you might fold in, pick it up, cross that left ankle over, come to Ashta. Squeezing the knees, the feet. Come back wide-legged, release your bottom. Opposite side, frame left, option to fold in or option to fold in, pick up, cross the ankles. Smile the chest, look forward. And release, wide-legged. Option for a Titibhasana press-up or return to a wide-legged shape. So my Titibhasanas, we'll throw our legs up, catch behind the elbows to lower the feet. Catch the big toes to lengthen and exhale. Down we go. Last Prasarita. Manipulate the tailbone up, losing any tension on the neck that's driving you. Arches of the feet lifted. Inhale, lengthen. Release the hands, pivot to face your left foot, step back, lower. Urdhva Mukha, we go up. Adho Mukha, we go back. Inversion of your choice, headstand, forearm stand, handstand, or child's pose. We have 6 breaths. Use the wall, tone the glutes, lift out of the shoulders, out of the finger pads. Part of it is believing in magic. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way down, sit back, take child. Let it all fall away. Let the standing work be given back. It's in the past. And what is required of you in the seated work is a totally different playing field. More patience, more attention to detail. As though this is the most interesting series you've ever encountered. Downward dog. If you like to work your jump throughs, get your blocks. Otherwise, eyes forward through to a seat. Dandasana. Palms plant, chin bows. Take a look at your quads. You might notice one quad is more developed than the other. Paschimottanasana, folding forward. Take shins or big toes. Lengthen and fold. In the Yoga Sutras, they say that the magical powers of a yogi is to be able to wax in magnitude and to become so insignificant the size of a particle. And I think they're talking about shapes like this. To become so compressed, distilled. Inhale, lengthen to take your deepest grip. Hands might come around the feet. Once your head finds a place to land, and maybe you use a block or it has no place, but when the head lands, you'll notice it can free up space in the abdomen. It can take the tension out of the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Release the shape for Purvottanasana. Hands come a foot behind the back as we stretch up. The heads of the humerus roll forward, inner thighs squeezing. 3, 2, 1, release your bottom. It's either a vinyasa or a dandasana or an L-sit if you're into that. All the way through to a seat. Half bound seated lotus, right leg crawls up. Reach the right hand behind the back. You might like a block under your lotus knee. Square the chest and fold in. Keep working the knee to the earth, the chest to the foot. Inhale, lengthen. Marichyasana B. If you have half lotus and you're comfortable, keep it. If not, you'll release it, but the leg will stay tucked. Fold the left leg in, reach the left arm forward, and bind behind your back. Imagine you're a grasshopper. The knee is behind the shoulders, chest forward. Inhale, lengthen. Release your shape for half bound lotus on the opposite side. Fold the left leg in. Reach the left hand behind the back, over and in. Inhale, up and out. Exhale, over and in. We want to find that 20% of effort that's worth it. Drop the rest. No more hustle, no more grind, more alignment and directed focus. Inhale, lengthen, Marichyasana B, keeping the half lotus or untangling it, right knee to the sky, binding around the knee joint, diving forward. Rising all the way up, release the shape, legs out in front, and come all the way down onto the back, legs up. Intertwine the fingers behind the neck, lower the right leg. Spin the right elbow to the left knee, lower and lift the left leg. 10, 9, 8. Bottom glute, so fired up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs up, opposite side. Left leg lowers, lower and lift right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs up, cross the ankles, rock forward, a vinyasa. Stretch back. Working tripod headstand to crow, dropping down onto the knees. You could work lotus. You might just work a child's pose or a down dog on your head. Lowering the skull, come up for tripod. Tone the glutes for 3, 2, and now if you want to take a shape, whether diamond or lotus, and pick it up into crow or kakasana. 3, 2, 1. If the head is up, release the head. Come back to tripod. Vinyasa out or stretch back, downward dog. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat, ripple forward, side plank on the right. Elevating the left leg or stepping it down. 3, 2, 1. Eyes down, hands down, opposite side, spin it open. Maybe lift the leg, lift the eyes. 3, 2, 1. Eyes down, hands down, lower. Over and up. Downward dog, back. Dropping down onto the knees for hero's pose. Some of you might want to put a block under your bottom. You might stay upright. You might come all the way down. So in the back bending practice, much like seated, it's a different playing field. all together. So how do you set the attitude to get the most out of the back bends? What's in it for you? Mobility, feeling good in your own body, testing your edges. Continue to tuck the tailbone to get flat in the low back, so we're into the quads and the hip flexors. Rising all the way up, option for a headstand of vinyasa or a high plank to stretch the knees back. Meeting in downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Bend it, stack it, maybe flip your dog. 3, 2, 1. Pull it through for soldier pose. Step your left foot outside the left wrist. Send the left arm out wide and tent the fingers. Right fingertips tent. Hop your right foot in. Catch the top of the right foot, kneecap to the sky. Keep pulling the chest through. Work the kneecap higher. And release. Send that left leg high once more. Sweep it through for pigeon. Some of you might like to turn it into a back bend. Some of you might fold it forward. Big, full breath. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Gently pressing into the palms to lift the heart. Tuck the back toes under, left leg high. Release your foot. Lift the right leg up, bend it, stack it, maybe flip it. 3, 2, 1. Three-legged dog for soldier. Step the right foot outside the wrist, tent the right fingertips, left fingertips tent. Hop that back foot in. Right hand catches the top of the foot as the kneecap goes skyward. Keep pulling the torso through. Find new space, new potentiality. Trust your bottom foot. And release. Step the left foot back, send the right leg high. Sweep it through, pigeon. Maybe you fold, maybe you back bend. Wherever you are, deep intrigue on your own experience. Meaning, where does the mat start and your body begin? If you're doing the back bend, at what point are you starting the bend? Where in the spine? If you've got a back bend, release your back bend, pressing into the palms, stretching back, down dog. Dropping down onto the knees, 2 more back bends. Ustrasana camel. Catch the waist, take the pelvis forward. Your hands might reach back for the heels. You might drop your head. Scan for compression and send exhale there. This is by nature a compression in the back body and an extension in the front, but could it be more nourishing? Rising all the way up, option for an inversion or a child's pose. 3, 2, 1. Come down or come up. Last one, Ustrasana. Maybe you work Legu Vidrasana or Kapotasana, or what you did before. And all the way up, head is last. Coming forward onto the abdomen and then onto your back. Tucking your knees in toward your chest and cross your left ankle over. So the knees stack. Think reclined cow face or Gomukhasana. You can work your knees toward the other end of the mat that your head is not facing. And then releasing the shape, but turn it to a twist. Knees fall to the right, the left leg is on top. Eyes through center, knees through center, untangle, retangle, maybe working the knees toward the back of the mat. You might rock. And then releasing the feet, turn it to a twist, arms wide, knees to the left, eyes to the right. Bring the eyes through center, knees through center, one more squeeze. And then lying on your back, finding dead person's posture. Let the feet flop out, swallow, and let go of any holding in the breath. So the greats suggest we set a goal that is so outrageous, 10 times what we thought was possible for our lives. Because they say in there, when the goal becomes so big, our yeses and our nos become more clear. There's more discernment over what projects we take, what shapes we take. We keep pushing our envelope. Feel free to stay in this position as long as you like. Otherwise, stretching, wiggling your fingers and your toes, tucking your knees towards your abdomen to roll to the right. And when you're ready, rising to a seat. Not out of habit, but out of great respect for your particular journey, the twists and the turns, hands to heart center. Bow the chin, seal the practice. Folding forward like a prayer. Like you put a prayer in a bottle and in the ocean and sent it. Thank you for your practice.